Hey everyone, welcome to Aniki, the show about animes with two brothers. I'm Ben,
I'm Jonathan.
and this week we get hot and bothered with Oreki and Chitanda on Hyouka episode not numbered.
11.5 in my reckoning. So I have a really great nickname for Chitanda this week. It is actually pretty good. It's not like the past couple that have been a little iffy. This one's quite solid. So you know the cello song that they play a lot in this?
Yeah.
I didn't know this. This is a real thing.
Yeah, it's a real thing.
I did not know.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite cello things.
Yeah, and it's called the cello song.
The cello suite. It's prelude number 1.
Yeah, I did not know that. It's kind of like From the New World was a real thing.
So this episode is like a special.
Yeah, it was
like it's in between thing. It has nothing to do with any other arc.
Sort of. So this episode is the DVD or Blu-ray bonus episode. It kind of works. In the next episode, episode 12, Oreki's sister will be in town. Mm-hmm. So these kind of connect, because it doesn't show her getting into town. She's just now home, where this one kind of shows her coming to town, but not really. But
does the next episode have any of them with a sunburn?
No. Not that I'm aware of. Possible, but I don't think so.
So I guess that connects to the next episode like that, but it also connects to the previous episode.
It does.
In that
crippling
self-doubt
is a major character in today's episode.
It is, for at least half of the episode. So we open on our bonus pool episode.
That's literally what I called it in the title of my notes, the bonus pool episode. It does have an actual title, though.
It does, which is very creepy if you reread the title at the end of the episode. You see the title at the beginning, and you're like, oh, okay, whatever. And you forget it by the end of the show. But if you go back and remember what the title is after seeing the entire episode, you're like, oh.
Well, I don't remember what it was, so.
Well, we'll get to that then. So we open with Oreki laying in his bed because it's too hot outside, and he is too Oreki to be doing anything else.
Yes, he is just sort of flopping around in bed, much like the girls are at the end of every episode.
And he hears the shower going from downstairs.
Yes, which leads him to interesting questions. Are his parents ever home, or is this a standard anime thing where the parents just simply don't exist?
Well, they work overseas.
Oh,
as
did we
all
get that
Japanese parents do. When their children are young and vulnerable, they go on business trips overseas.
Chitanda's parents are home.
They weren't that one time.
Well, I mean, that's one day.
No, because if they had been home that one time, those shiitake mushrooms would have been just brought in all by themselves.
We wouldn't have had to go through the pretense.
So Oreki goes downstairs to investigate this strange occurrence.
Oh, well, investigate's a very strong word. More like he wanders through his own house, slightly in a daze.
He might just be hungry. But we see that inside the shower is a long brown-haired girl who is bathing.
Yeah, well, he doesn't see that. We do.
Well, no, we do.
It's important not to imply that something untoward is happening.
But I was kind of hoping that it was actually Chitanda who has started sneaking into Oreki's house to, like, live there.
Oh, have you started watching Penguin Drum? Is that where this is coming from?
Started watching Penguin Drum, yes.
You have?
I may be heavily influenced at this point.
Okay. Penguin Drum is super good, and people may or may not live under people's houses. So, it does seem like a reasonable thing that could occur in this situation as well.
Now, Oreki takes, like, zero interest in the fact that his shower in the house that should normally be empty is now running.
Yeah, well, and, you could imagine that he has gotten a letter, since we're going to find out in literally 2 seconds that Oreki's sister is back. But you would imagine that maybe she would send a letter beforehand.
That's possible, yeah.
But he does walk into the living room, and there's, her bags are there everywhere, and the floor is just covered in omiyage, just little trinkets from South America, primarily.
And at this point, he's like, hey, sis, are you home? And she responds in, like, the weirdest way.
Yeah, she's weird.
She's like, yeah, I am. Feel free to leap into my arms, she says while still toweling herself off.
Well, she's a bit of a sassy girl,
I guess.
I think this is some stuff that we literally cannot speak on, because the relationship between an older sister and a younger brother is one that we have no idea how it works whatsoever.
It's true.
As we only have older brothers, except for you, who only has younger brothers. And my wife only has a older brother. She is not the older sister. So,
And my wife is the older sister.
does she have a younger brother, though?
She does not.
Oh, see, then we're still pointless.
Everything is pointless.
This whole show's pointless. Shut it down. We're done. Too ennui. We're done. Crippling self-doubt. We're out.
So we get to the op and the title of this episode,
Yes.
which is What Everyone Needs.
Oh, my.
Exactly. See, at the beginning, you're like, oh, well, clearly it's probably friendship or something.
No, to be wanted. To be needed, actually.
Yes. That is probably the moral of the episode, but that's not what's conveyed.
Ice cream? Everyone needs ice cream?
Also ice cream, yes. So we get back from the op, and Oreki has chosen to flop down on the couch.
Watch TV. I did like this, where he's just like, sister's home, whatevs. I like how we spend, like, between here and the phone call with Satoshi, which we'll get here in a moment, even through most of the phone call with Satoshi, he utters no real words.
In fact, we get all the way to the commercial break with him uttering maybe a total of 10 words.
No, I know, it's great. He is so done with everything. He is either done with everything or suffering from...
Crippling self-doubt?
Crippling self-doubt. Yeah, no, you got it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he sits down to watch TV, and his sister is like, ugh, why are you watching TV? Don't you at least normally read and stimulate your brain a little bit? He's like, yeah, no, I don't feel like thinking. She's like, oh, okay. He's like, yeah, but I do have plans today. And good old Onesan's like, what? You've got plans? He's like, yeah, napping.
She, this is a bit of symbolism. She wanders over and starts twirling his hair for him, as in she's going to make him start thinking, which is something she's been doing since episode 1.
I like it. I think you're reading
weird.
too much into it, but I like it.
That's all I have in this episode. There's literally nothing else except fan service.
Nothing happens in this episode. You're super correct. The mystery is extraordinarily deep.
It's the worst mystery.
This is the least amount of notes I've ever done for an episode of Hyouka. That being said, this episode of Hyouka is actually really good. And it never gets too fan servicey. But, it's definitely not it is not the arc that we just came from, that's for sure.
No. So his sister is like, hey, you want to make 5,000 yen just sitting around all day?
That is $50?
And he doesn't really respond, so she responds for him and says, good. I'll tell him that you'll do it. Have some sunscreen.
There you go.
Best get ready.
Yeah. You get paid to sit around all day, if that's what you're going to do anyway, so go do it.
He's for it.
He starts getting ready, and Satoshi calls the house. He gets One-san, but One-san's just like, whatever, it's Satoshi, how are you doing? Yes, I'm back in Japan. She passes the phone on to Oreki. Satoshi's like, do you have that book I lent you? Are you done with it? Oh, okay, can I, come pick it up later today?
You can pick it up after work.
What? Spit take.
I just have the hell you say?
Yeah, as Satoshi flips his lid. There's a good little visual gag here where as Satoshi is yelling and ranting about Satoshi actually doing work, he's holding the phone really far away from his ear. I'm a sucker for small visual gags, and this episode has a number of them, so that's good.
His sister walks by while he's doing this, though, and rubs his hair again.
Yeah.
She has a thing with his hair. And that's the last we see of her. We never actually see her face.
Yeah, we'll see her next episode.
With her face?
I don't remember. I think so.
So then we cut to the pool, which is full of children and laughter and most things that Oreki just must surely love.
And we see him in a lifeguard chair doing his best to look miserable and upset.
He's just sitting and sweating.
I love him. He's got his giant liter bottle of green tea and is ready for work. Those were massive air quotes for those of you looking at home.
He does zero work.
Yes,
turns out.
He loves this job.
And then Satoshi arrives with the women.
With the ladies.
The ladies are obviously in bathing suits, which is the whole point of this episode.
So are you ready?
Yeah, let's have it.
Chikini shows up.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, Chikini.
That's a good one.
So what was Ibarra wearing? Part 1. She's in a 2-piece swimsuit. Her top comes all the way down to her midriff. Chitanda is in a chikini. Of course, it is brilliant white and is showing off her full figure.
One of these two is surprisingly modest, and the other one is surprisingly immodest.
And it's not who you would think it would be.
Well, it's who I would think it would be.
Well, it's who I would think it would be for the fans. And who would want to be in mixed baths?
Yeah. Well, Oreki gives the one of them the full up and down scan.
Oh, yeah. I just have, oh my, Oreki, oh my.
Chitanda notices this and does not care. In fact, she gives him a little smile.
She's like, yeah. You like what
She's
you
like,
see,
yeah.
Oreki? It's like, don't worry, you're
I've
going to
got
see
it.
my abs later, Chitanda.
And Satoshi's like, oh yeah, I called both of them and said, come see a sight, the likes of which you may never see again.
Yeah,
Says Satoshi, wingman of the world.
Satoshi's just the best. And Ibarra's like, what? Oreki working? Satoshi's like, yeah. She's like, yay, big whoop.
Yeah, this is stupid. Why am I here?
She totally like deflates Satoshi in like 2 sentences. But is like, well, as long as we're here, how about pool fun and fan service?
Well, wait, before we get to that, there's some key things that you are missing.
It is true. There's
First of all, Oreki is catching some glances of Chitanda, and he is going to have a very uncomfortable day.
He does have a very uncomfortable day.
And then, of course, there's a sudden altercation between a man who is like a punk dude.
Yep.
But he thinks that this nerd guy in a t-shirt at a pool is staring at his boring one-piece swimsuit wearing girlfriend when Chitanda is like right there. Like,
well,
who
he's
do you
a jealous
think
jerk.
this guy who's wearing a t-shirt at a pool? What do you think he's looking at?
Well, I mean,
it's not your girlfriend.
It's Oreki.
Sorry.
It's Oreki. He's looking at Oreki.
So Oreki sees this and is like, holy crap, I hope I never have to deal with that.
Spoilers, he has to deal with that the entire episode.
Kind of. He doesn't actually have to
By
break
proxy.
up any fights. But now it's time for a gratuitous fan service.
It's time for pool fun. There is a really good gag here where they're playing like
with
pass
Satoshi.
They're playing a good. They're playing pass with like a beach ball in the pool, and you get all the shots of all the things you would want shots of in this case. But they're all passing the beach ball like volleyball passes, and Satoshi like goes up in the air ready to do a mega spike, and then just boop. He just boops it underhand like normal.
He just bump passes it to Chitanda. And he's like, hey, Chitanda, do something funny.
And she's like, what? Huh? What? And it just bops her right on the noggin.
You know what's funny is that exact scene reminded me of Chio-chan and Azumanga getting hit.
Yes.
Exactly the same way with the same ball.
Yeah, basically. No, you are correct.
Just right in the face.
Yep. Basically the exact same beat. Satoshi then suggests that she should have a Batsu game, and I have seen Higurashi. I know where this leads.
Usually murder, but not in this case.
Don't want to be a part of this. Instead, her Batsu game is she very timidly goes to the very edge of the pool and picks up like a little 2 handful of water. She looks up at Oreki in his chair, and she takes a couple steps forward, and she just goes, yeah, and tosses the water in his face.
Well, she has this look on her face
I'm
as
so
she
sorry.
does this.
Bye.
She's torn between, I really shouldn't be doing this. It's going to bother him, and this going to be good.
Yeah, I like it. It's good gags. It's just good old gag time here.
Summer fun.
It is
having a blast.
Fun. It is fun in the pool. They go down the water slides
with Chitanda clutching Ibarra.
Yes,
very tenderly.
Very tenderly. It's very nice.
Oreki from his chair upon high sighs, probably thinking to himself, "I'd like me a piece of that."
Because he wants to do that same thing, but with Satoshi.
Exactly. And just then, lo and behold, he gets to go on break.
Yes, it is time for lunch, and they go to lunch break. And guess what? There's fun banter with the gang for lunch.
Yay. Oreki has the best lines during this scene.
As in none of them.
He has some really good one-liners and some very quick and very cutting wit.
If that you mean that he eats in total silence while everybody makes fun of him, you would be correct.
Yeah, he does that.
Because Satoshi like instantly starts up. It's like, dude, how can we not be here? We can't pass up seeing Oreki work because he is a sloth in human clothing, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Satoshi mentions that there's some things that just don't mix in this world. Oil and water, the pool and Oreki, and that gets Satoshi and Ibarra in on it.
Yeah, because they both have this vision of Oreki in like rainbow
tropical
shorts
jams
with a polka dot inner tube, getting ready to have the most fun.
Like what's his name from America Acres from the Garfield cartoon?
Yeah, just like that guy.
Yeah, just like that guy. Do you remember his name? The bunny
I don't
rabbits is
remember.
coming, etc.
Yeah, the duck with the inner tube. I can't think
Yep.
of his name.
Neither can I.
Anyway,
That's not important right now. What's important is poor Chikini is sputtering and trying to get them to stop. But, Oreki
she thinks
could
this
care
is
less.
funny.
She does, but she kind of wants them to stop. She's a fan, but
She's like, they should stop. You guys should stop, right, Oreki?
he's like, Because they're like, you know what else doesn't mix? Trunks and Oreki, the sun and Oreki,
Aw.
summer and Oreki, fun and Oreki, happiness and Oreki,
And he's just
crippling
like,
self-doubt and Oreki. It's like, oh, no,
no, that actually does go together.
those go together.
So Satoshi and Ibarra decide that they're done with their lunch and with their fun.
Yeah.
And they're going to go back to the pool.
Yep.
Leaving Oreki and Chikini and some alone time.
Oh, surely they're going to get up to some mischief. Nope.
Well, she looks at him and she's very conflicted. She's not really sure what she wants to say. She wants to say something like, is there something wrong? Are you okay? Would you like to ravish me in the locker room?
Yeah, somewhere
But a
in there.
child breaks the moment with its ear-piercing cry.
As they are wont to do.
And it's that girl with the awful boyfriend from before.
Yep.
And she's got a small child.
She does.
This raises many questions.
And on her ear is a white glistening thing.
There's a white thing on her ear. What could it be?
We don't care right now.
Sure don't.
We might later.
Well, Chikini decides to settle on the innocent question of, how's the job? He's like, it's normal.
Nah.
She's like, I'd like to try it someday.
Okay.
Nah.
Nice.
Now she's getting really flustered because she doesn't know how to deal with like mental issues or actual human problems. It's not her.
This
not
is
her thing.
Satoshi's wheelhouse. Satoshi is good at the hashtag real talk.
She's good at optimism, not depression.
She's good at hopeless optimism, looking good in her chikini, getting drunk off of bonbons, and being very curious. That's her wheelhouse.
She excels in all those areas.
And not succumbing to any of the 7 deadly sins.
Never.
Never. Definitely not lust. Never.
She does get distracted at this point,
She
thankfully.
does.
By the lane swimmers.
Yes.
And we see some of her optimism on display.
She does. Oh, she's so cute. Maybe we're seeing a future gold medalist right now. And Oreki's like, yeah, if they have the dedication, that's probably not even good enough. They have to have ability too. If they're just normal, they'll never make it in this world. Just like me, who's just normal. I don't care. Everything's death. Hashtag no bummers, Oreki. Come on.
And I realize at this point how this ties into the previous episode, because I just thought he was being normal Oreki up till this point.
Nope. He's still super bummers.
It's like, oh, Irisu's spider talons are still stinging like all over him.
They're fangs. Spiders don't have talons.
Spiders have talons and owls sleep upside down. I have more experience in these areas.
Spiders do not have talons. Things that have talons: birds of prey, chickens, as seen on Napoleon Dynamite,
and spiders,
velociraptors, probably Dio, but not spiders.
I'm pretty sure spiders do.
Spiders do not have talons.
Hashtag spider talons.
No, not a thing.
I think, though, here is where Chikini figures this out.
Yes.
Or at least she figures out something along these lines, like, oh, he might actually be depressed for insert reason.
He might be suffering from
crippling depression.
Not crippling self-doubt.
No, it's depression at this point.
Yeah, well, I suppose.
And she's like, do you want to be special?
No, not really. I'm just a normal guy. Whatever.
And he starts walking away, and then she cries after him.
You're special, Oreki, at least to me.
And he turns around, and I have the same reaction. It's like, what?
Yeah, this catches our intrepid hero unawares. But then she has to keep going.
She continues. She ruins everything with her words.
Yep.
Yeah, Ibarra and Satoshi are special too.
Chitanda. Did you not see that Disney Pixar movie, The Incredibles?
She clearly didn't.
When everyone's special?
No one is. And especially Oreki right now, because he was all excited.
Yeah, he instantly deflates. He's like, that's just like your opinion, man. What matters is public opinion. But then Chitanda straight up tells him how it is.
Yeah, she has a Fred Rogers moment here.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? All that matters is that some people think you're special. And if they think you're special, then you are special.
You're at least special to them, and that counts for something. Also, I'm very sorry I just got mad and yelled at you. Bye.
Is that what she did? Because I thought that maybe she realized that she had just actually opened up and had some hashtag real talk, and that was too much for her little brain, and she ran away.
Yeah, that's a little deep, a little quick, and that may have freaked her out, or it may have just been that she doesn't like getting upset, as we saw a couple episodes back. Either of those interpretations would be fine.
Maybe she's just not as in touch with her feelings as she thinks she is.
That is highly likely.
Considering what she just said.
That is highly, highly likely.
So then we got our commercial break, and we still don't have our mystery yet. Oreki's back in his chair, ruminating over that one line of Chitanda's nonsense that actually like hit him, like right in the old Kokoro.
Right in the Kokoro.
The part where she thinks that he's special to her.
Yes. Toot toot. We even have water for our ship to set sail on.
We do. It's nice.
Watch it go. It's a nice boat. We have Batsu games and nice boats. Should be the name of the episode. People will have have expectations walking into this episode, and they will not be delivered upon.
None.
Not at all.
He's run out of tea, just like he's run out of hope.
Oh.
And another lifeguard comes to relieve him for yet another break. So we've gone from break at lunch to a commercial break to coming back, and he needs to go on break.
They are padding this episode.
Yeah.
To be fair, this episode is brilliantly animated. You can tell it was only on the DVDs because they were like, we got a budget. This is being sold on Blu-rays.
All the water things. So Oreki solves his tea problem by going and buying some more tea and then sitting on a bench.
Here comes the Scooby Gang.
Well, hang on.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
A completely unmodest Chitanda wanders up, and I pause it to make note of that.
You pause it.
Because
hold on.
Yes.
I want you to realize what you just said. An immodest Chitanda comes up, so I paused it right there.
I did.
For how long?
It right there.
10, 15 minutes, maybe?
Well, enough to write that down.
I'm sure.
And the only reason I made note of that was because before, when she and the others had come to eat lunch with him, they'd all like put on coats and stuff.
Oh, that is true.
Up.
Well, that's because that was like an official break. This is like, we hurried right here sort of break.
Yeah. But so I just paused it because I'm like, oh, we're going to have more alone time. And this time she's not wearing a coat and he is going to have some issues.
Well,
here in a second. And then I unpause it and I'm like, oh, the others are here too.
Yeah, the others are here too.
That's not fun.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're right. Beforehand, when they all ran up, they were like in their like sarongs and little over jackets and stuff.
And she says to him, not what he was hoping.
Nope.
Which
is, please make out with me right now. Instead, it's, hey, I'm curious about something.
And I'm like, oh, come on. There's not even a mystery so far.
There's about to be.
And Satoshi's like, yeah, this is your area of expertise, right, Oreki? With the curiosity.
He's like, no, please. No, I can't figure out anything anymore. I am a poor, sad excuse for a man.
Chitanda's like, hey, you remember that lady in red?
Yes.
Insert song here.
Mm-hmm.
When we finished eating lunch earlier, she had something white on her left ear, but now she doesn't.
Dun dun dun. But we're scraping the bottom of the mystery barrel here today, guys. It's just it's at the we've run out of mysteries.
Oreki's like, how'd you even see that? Seriously, what's going on?
And
I actually had to pause it, jump back, and look.
Yeah, it was there.
And indeed, there is a blob of something on her left earlobe, which I immediately thought, oh, it's probably sunscreen. She probably got sunscreen on her.
No, that's logical. Okay.
On her ear.
See, now that's reasonable and logical. But unfortunately, Ibarra jumps to conclusions like it could have been an earring or a stud, and those plus bare feet don't mix. That's what our blood balloon man has to say about this situation.
You saw that too, did you?
I love the blood balloon man.
So there's this balloon man, and she's explaining what could happen possibly.
Yeah.
Because if it's an earring, see, and it fell out of her ear, it might
bare
be
feet
sitting
around a pool, it could hurt someone.
So what if a goat-footed balloon man, comes walking along like he's literally a man
made
out of balloons, and he steps on the earring? Then clearly his foot will explode in blood.
Well, it's in theory it's exploding with water, just with a red filter on it. But yeah, it's
blood.
It's a blood balloon man. I love it. I love Blood Balloon Man. Blood Balloon Man for MVP of the episode. He sacrificed a lot to be here today, guys.
He did.
And what happened? He popped. Poor guy.
He popped. So she's like, can you help us find it? Because it's totally not just a blob of something on her ear.
Oreki says that the pool is too big and is lazy, and if maybe you should probably go to find out if it was an earring first and go ask her.
And okay, so this is probably the stupidest conversation of the entire episode.
Oh?
Yeah, because Ibarra's like, well, I could go talk to that girl, but her boyfriend is crazy, as evidenced by the previous conversation that man had with somebody.
Yes, which was
yelling
not kind.
It was yelling at a man who he thought was looking at his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Fair. That's fair.
Reasonable.
But she's like, well, Oreki, why don't you go talk to him? Because he's crazy. And he's like, no, because he clearly thinks that other guys would be jealous.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's no, well, you're a girl. You could totally go talk to her and everything would be fine.
They have to be very polite. And who is Ibarra to go wander up to some random person
and be like, hey, did you lose an earring?
Yeah.
Because if you did, I might have found it over there.
Yeah, but she didn't.
She could make that up. She could make that up.
That's lying.
Oh, no.
I'm not gonna lie. That's something Hime cuts do. That's not something our heroes do. These are protagonists. They're the good guys.
Chitanda has half a Hime cut. She could tell a little white lie.
Okay, maybe she could tell half a lie for being half a Hime. All right.
Yeah.
I'll allow it. Her lies are all to herself about how she doesn't have feelings for Oreki. See,
that's true.
Her half lie quota is already used up.
So she takes Oreki's hand. Chitanda does.
Chikini does. This is very important. Chikini in this,
especially this moment. Chikini takes Oreki's hand, bends over, and gets right in his face, and is like, "Kini narimasu," with her eyes and the sound effect, and he sees only her heart. And he tries very hard
not to.
Several times not to see her heart.
This is not helping, Chikini. You are not helping the situation.
She has a big heart. And he gives in.
Yeah,
and is like, okay, I'll help.
Okay,
thanks.
Could you please stand up again? Please? No, please.
I'm having problems. And then could you walk away and wait a few minutes and then I'll come join you?
Yes, please.
I need a minute.
Please go away. Please stop. Why do you do this to me?
Once he gathers himself, he
goes to the lifeguard office. He goes.
He tells the manager what's going on,
and the manager's like, "Yeah, I don't want to ask her if she has an earring either, because that's going to cause a scene." And gosh darn it, if they have to be this polite, you just don't want to cause a scene.
So then the manager agrees that maybe they should search for this earring.
Yeah,
because obviously it could make foots explode.
Yeah.
So he divvies up the work in the most ridiculous way.
Why?
He's like, okay, I'm going to take all the lifeguards that I've got. I'm going to put all of them just searching the grounds, which you could do with just your eyes. And Oreki, I need you to search the entire pool around the outside. No. The inside. You need to look at the entire inside of this massive pool.
Well, see, how I read this is that like, everybody's just going to keep their eyes out. Like, you don't have to like physically get down on all fours and check every area. But except
that's exactly what he does in the pool.
I mean, that's fair. At least the gang signs up to help him.
They do.
But Oreki is still not super into it.
Yeah, because it's still a big enough job that Satoshi's like, hey, Oreki, this is kind of like your actual like job. So you should probably like divvy up the work since we're going to be helping you, right?
Meh.
He's like, whatever. So Satoshi just ends up divvying up the work. He's like,
that he does.
The girls will go over there. I'll go over here. And Oreki, you look over there. But after the girls leave,
it's more time for Satoshi's Real Talk. In the Real Talk corner with Satoshi. Satoshi starts giving Oreki like the 4th degree, 5th degree. I don't know what it is. He starts questioning him in real hard. He's like, dude, did you have to even take this job? Oreki's like, no. And he's like, then what is your motto even for?
Exactly.
Like, what are you even doing here today?
And Oreki's like, well, sorry.
He's like, good. Thank you, Satoshi. You're starting to at least put up a fight again. You should at least put up pretense that this is irritating you. You have to at least act like your cynical self. Otherwise, you're just boring and nobody likes you.
Exactly. And with that, he leaves him to think about that.
He leaves him for a montage. We're gonna montage.
Yeah, and they're montaging them looking for this earring under the water.
No,
and it's really weird because all of them have their eyes open underwater.
Yeah, that's fine.
But Are there pools not chlorinated?
I mean, I'm sure they are. I mean, so
Because my
what?
eyes would be burning out of my skull at that point.
Well, I don't want to go too deep here, but, they do live on a giant island. They're probably very used to water.
I guess.
I mean, they have mandatory swimming lessons at, like, age 2.
Yeah, but Oreki would not be.
That's probably fair.
Because Oreki and pools don't mix.
That is true. They don't. We learned that.
He finds a marble, Oreki does, at the bottom of the pool.
Yep, a very
and
flat
he gets
marble.
out. And he gets out
It's
to
more
put
like
it
one
in
of
a
those
bucket.
like little counting beads they use for counting like board game pieces and stuff. A little clear.
Yeah. Like
If you ever
Pokemans.
played the Pokemon trading card game way back in the day, before they gave out damage counters that were the little wooden, the little cardboard chits, the little coins. The booster, the decks came with little glass beads. Those marbles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to be very specific about this because this marble is very important, extremely important to the upcoming plot. In 2 or 3 episodes, this marble
plot-
comes back, and it'll blow your mind.
Does
How
it murder
deep
his
and how-
entire family?
I mean, I don't want to spoil it.
Well, it is very important right here because it's the impetus for him to get out and
talk to Ibarra,
look.
and for Ibarra to be like, dude, no bummers.
Before he sees Ibarra, he sees Satoshi bobbing for trinkets, and then his eyes wander over to Chitanda, who's all bent over and wet and pulling her hair over her ear. And he best get back into the pool before he becomes obvious. But Ibarra notices.
Yeah, that is true.
And she's like, you need to quit slacking. He's like, I'm not slacking. I found a marble.
I mean, he did.
That's
He's
it.
not lying.
And she's like, whatever. I'm getting depressed just looking at you. And it's annoying.
Could you please get over your crippling self-doubt real quick?
Yeah.
Please
And
stop
he's
it.
like,
No
well,
bummers. No
don't-
bummers.
Yeah. Well, she says that before she would just get pissed off looking at him. And that was also annoying.
Yep.
And since he's annoying either way, he should at least not be depressing.
Yeah, it was better when he had some fight in him. And it's true. Like, this Oreki is boring Oreki. Be sassy. Be whiny about everything. Come on.
Be something.
Be something. No bummers. No bummers.
Oreki then spots the girl who has the child again.
Yeah.
And she's hitting water out of her ears.
She is. She's smacking her ears real hard. And the little kid has an Isukrimu.
It's hair twisting time.
It is hair twisting time. Oreki's he's cracked the case, you guys.
Yep.
The super deep case of where did the earring go if she ever had an earring in the first place. Well,
I'm really glad
cracked
we
it.
had him around because this particular
This is a
mystery had
toughie.
me.
This is a toughie. I could never have come. It's a tough one.
I was very anxious getting through this episode. I have to say.
Oh,
What could it be?
I mean, it's a toughie. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Tough.
He gathers the gang together and he has to psych himself up to actually get the conversation going and he's like, okay, Chitanda, did you actually see her an earring?
She's like, no, she had like something white and shiny on her ear.
And he's like, you see that lady over there in red?
Yeah, see how she's slapping the water out of her ear all willy-nilly?
See
as
how
hard as
she
can?
hits herself in the head?
Would you do that if you had an earring on? No, because it would hurt. Because you'd stab yourself. It's
Yeah, that'd
bad.
be stupid. Also, she'd probably notice if her earring was gone as she's hitting herself in the head.
Yeah, because, that's reasonable.
So, to that end, and to solve the case, Satoshi, could you carry Ibarra in your arms, please?
Yes, I have. It's time for a gag a minute. Here we go. We got to pad out this episode as much as we can.
And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, this seems.
And she
this
actually
seems
starts
fine.
playing along with it until
Ibarra's
she
like,
realizes
okay.
what's going on.
It's like, no, hey, what? This place? What? No, stop.
This isn't the right place for this.
I do like this. This is super cute. And Oreki's like, okay, fine. Chitanda, can you hold Ibarra? He's like, what? No. Ibarra's like, the problem isn't who's picking me up. It's because I look like a little kid, and that's embarrassing. And Oreki just thinks to himself, well, that's because I want to see how a little kid would be held. So, and he's like, it's to prove a theory, Ibarra. And she's like, okay.
And then we get more fan service.
Oh my. Yeah, Ibarra walks on up. She jumps up on Chitanda. Chitanda grabs her, and
Satoshi's like, man, you are sure strong, Chitanda.
Ibarra's like, what do you mean by that?
It's like nothing.
These guys, these kids, they do have their goofs.
And then Satoshi's like, see here. how the hands go upon the shoulders.
Yes, seems reasonable.
This is what I was going for.
Yep.
Nothing else. Everything was clearly personally innocent.
Yeah.
And nothing to do with.
This has nothing to do with anything else.
Yeah.
This is
and it's
solely
blah,
to see
blah,
how...
blah. They say some more words that weren't really interesting at the point. The point is, it was ice cream.
The point is, it was ice cream. The point is if she was holding her kid and her kid had a cone of soft serve and her hand is up by her ear, ice cream would get on her ear. This mystery is super dumb.
Yeah.
And I love it because the other guys are like, well, if it was ice cream, Oreki, explain this to us. Oreki, if there was ice cream on her ear, where did it go?
Where could it have gone?
He's like, it probably washed off in the pool, or somebody told her it was there and she wiped it off with a napkin. And their heads like literally explode. They're like, what?
Actually, I thought that Chitanda gets flustered and starts to say something, and I thought to myself, this solution to this stupid mystery was so simplistic
It was really
that
dumb.
maybe she's just going to be sad and be like, that can't be it. Maybe the murderer is still out there. We need to catch him.
See, that would be reasonable. You're forgetting that this is a throwaway junk garbage episode that, while
Yeah.
really cute, has no bearing on anything and is not written super well.
No. Instead, she
Ibarra
says...
just says, even I am impressed.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Reki's like, flattery will get you nowhere, Chitanda.
Yeah, well, Chitanda tells him that I think how you do that, solving these kinds of mysteries, is amazing. And then she gives him some eyes.
He's like, oh,
and then
please,
both
go
of them
on.
look at each other with, they really need to get a room eyes. Like, really bad.
Yeah, well, don't worry
There's a
about
locker room. They could just
it. I mean,
go over there for a minute.
some kisses should probably happen between these two at some point. I'm not going to lie.
They just need,
toot, toot, toot.
they need
You hear it?
5 more minutes,
Toot, toot,
probably.
toot, toot. That's the ship. It is sailing on the water of the pool.
But then we get to the moral of the story, which is everyone in turn tells Oreki, you need to be more cynical.
Yep. Moral of the episode is please be a cynic, Oreki.
Hooray!
Hooray!
We've figured it out.
Friendship is back. Love is not over. Oreki's a cynic again. We've done it.
Then we gotta disperse the unneeded characters at this point.
Yep.
So Satoshi's like, oh, I'm so hungry. I could use some soft, they call it a soft serve, soft cream.
Yeah.
So he's like, I want some soft cream. And then he realizes what he said, and Ibarra remembers that Satoshi was supposed to have a Hyouka manuscript done by today.
Yep. And he super doesn't.
Yeah, he doesn't.
So Ibarra physically drags him off again. Now, I love it when he leaves because he actually says sayonara, which is, again, if we want to go deep on the Japanese language, which we always
Let's do.
Sayonara isn't technically goodbye. It's a very
No,
final
it's
goodbye.
farewell.
It is like, I'm not going to see you again in a very long time, if ever, sort of goodbye. So he is like, he's like, goodbye forever. No. As he's being dragged off by Ibarra.
Probably to both write the manuscript and then probably to ravage him.
Well,
Little
Ibarra
both,
might,
probably.
but I think that might actually be our next arc. Could be the Valentine's Day arc. I don't remember.
Oh
No,
my.
because our next arc is the
Kanesai?
Kanyasai. Yeah. Which is a big trading puzzle, a la a Zelda game.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, Oreki sees this display and says, for some reason, I'm not really clear why, he's like, life is best when someone needs you.
Yeah.
I assume
Well,
he's saying
because-
it about Satoshi, but at Chitanda.
Yeah, maybe.
And Chitanda's like, looks like I need you today.
Yeah. Ship baiting.
And then he ruins it by saying it was a pain.
Well, no, because what did we just learn earlier?
That he needs to be more
He
cynical.
needs to be more cynical.
That's
I'll
true.
work that. It
And she's
all
like,
comes
"That's
around.
mean."
Time is a flat circle. It's fine.
But he's like, well, maybe it wasn't so bad.
We all learned a little thing about each other, and maybe, just maybe, something a little about ourselves, too. But wait! Chitanda is still curious about something. It's very important. It's
Yeah.
burning her up inside. Oreki, how did you know the white thing on her ear was ice cream?
He's like, well, that's simple. There's nothing else around here that's white except for that. And, well, I guess
and Chikini's
that-
Chikini.
that too. And now that it's
Aw.
explicit that he's been staring at her outfit all day, everyone becomes embarrassed because of the implication.
Yes. Filled with embarrassment, she wades off as Oreki is called back to his shift of sitting in a chair all day.
Yes, it is his shift now, but he's complaining about it.
He's complaining about it, so we're in a better place than we were at the beginning of the episode.
Yes, and now that we're at the end of the episode, let me remind you what the title of the episode was.
Yes.
It was What Everyone Needs.
A job?
So what does Oreki need?
To be cynical?
Well, there is that.
A job.
But that
maid. Everybody ought to have a maid.
That's true. That's very true. Everybody ought to have a working girl.
That's true. Everybody ought to have a chitanda.
Maybe not.
What? Hey, but everybody ought to have a irisu. Probably not.
I'd go with that before a chitanda, probably.
Those lead to crippling self-doubt.
Yeah. But this implies that everyone either needs to be cynical or everyone needs to melt some ice cream at the pool.
Yeah, that's true. So.
Yes.
What was the best? Best. What was it?
My best was Chitanda manipulating Oreki into having a normal mood again.
Yeah, that's true. That's pretty good.
Which is interesting because she did it in the exact same way Irisu did in the last arc, which is with a manufactured mystery. Because I think she made the whole thing up. She was just looking for something to be mystified about.
I like it. I like that reading.
What was your best?
I like how Oreki's sister comes and is just like, congratulations, you have a job now because you won't say no to it.
Yeah, she's a little bossy.
I like her. I like his sister. Also, there's a lot of good gags in this episode. They're just good little gaggy moments. I like it.
My favorite was the Satoshi one in the pool. I actually laughed at that one.
Which one where he's like, ah!
He's like, I'm going to win the beach volleyball tournament forever.
Dude. Yeah, it's a good joke. And then she gets bopped on the head. It's good. It's a good gag.
What was your worst?
Worst. The mystery is so dumb, you guys.
It's a really bad mystery.
Do you remember the mystery of his handwriting was kind of bad?
Yeah,
this one tops that one. This one tops that one by a long shot. Because it's like, you see it the first time, you're like, it was ice cream. It was ice cream. It was even a blob. It was ice cream, you guys.
Which makes me think that she manufactured the whole thing for his benefit.
You know, I like that headcanon. That's a good reading to just be like, sure.
Because otherwise, she's really dumb.
She's not. And she's not dumb. She might be. Chitanda might be a little silly, but she's not stupid. She's just a little silly.
And you'd have to be pretty stupid to not be like, oh, that could be an earring. Maybe it's probably not an earring. Yeah. But A, I'm not going to go check. And B, we're just going to assume and make everybody work.
Yeah. Chitanda is a bit like Princess Buttercup from the book version of The Princess Bride, where she's just a little silly.
Yeah.
Just not dumb, just a little silly.
My worst was Oreki's sister.
What?
We never saw her face.
What? Yeah, that's just baiting.
Yeah, it's not with her personally. It's with the fact that they chose to frame out her face in every single shot so that we never actually saw what she looked like. Well, and I hate it when that happens.
Maybe that's our true mystery. Well, then you're saying then that you hate what's his face from Home Improvement.
No.
That's what you just said. You just said that.
Because you at least see his eyes.
I heard I hate Wilson from Home Improvement. That's exactly what I heard.
Wilson's pretty cool.
Okay.
But Oreki's sister, it was fine for the first couple shots because you're like, oh, it's leading up to the big reveal. But then they would just find ways of not showing her face, and then we never see her for the rest of the episode. And I was just like, why?
Well, it is possible. It is possible. This is complete conjecture. It is possible that Hyouka 11.5 came out on the DVD of the previous arc, and they were saving the reveal for when the show came back from a brief hiatus after the release of the DVD.
That's possible.
So they wanted to save that for views on TV.
And hear me out on this.
Okay.
Maybe she's Dr. Claw.
Also possible.
I think so.
She does travel the world. She's a brilliant, dare I say it, super villain. However, she does not have a cat nor a robotic hand.
No, that's not true. She did have a lucky cat that she brought back for Oreki, so she's at least got that.
That's fair. I'll allow that. Metal hand?
Metal hand, well,
could be a gauntlet. Okay.
Yeah, we don't know. She might have pulled like a flesh glove over it.
Okay. No, I'm down. Dr. Claw. Confirmed, Dr. Claw.
Correct. Who's your MVP?
I already told you, Blood Balloon Man.
Oh, Blood Balloon Man.
Dude, he sacrificed a lot to be here. A lot.
He took a lot for the team.
He did. He took one for the team, and as a Blood Balloon Man, he can only take one for the team.
Well, he's got another foot. He can at least do it one more time.
No, I can't. The whole thing popped. It's all contingent. It's just
Was it the whole thing?
It's a whole bunch of contingencies here.
Oh man, that's worse. I thought it was just his foot.
Goes. He all goes.
Oh, we need to have a moment of silence for
Blood Balloon Man. I know. That's why he's MVP. Poor Blood Balloon Man.
Mine was Satoshi.
For more hashtag real talk? Or for being so delighted that his friend got a job. Pulling the girls out from whatever they were doing to be like, guys, you gotta come see this. This is gonna be great.
That's it. He is the world's best wingman.
I mean, yeah, he's pretty sweet.
He's like, I know what'll cheer my best friend up.
The ladies.
Seeing Chitanda in a bikini.
The chikini.
So, hey, Oreki, look what I brought.
A chikini.
I brought you one. Here you go.
Why don't you have a girl, Mark? Yes, just have one.
So with that...
Yes.
We conclude our special bonus pool episode with Chikini, Oreki, and the gang. And next time we move on to hopefully a mystery that makes some kind of sense.
Or a mystery that's actually a mystery, not just like, dude, she's got like suntan lotion or ice cream on her ear.
Yeah, she's just got a thing on her ear.
She's just got a thing. She's just got like a thing on her face.
Mm-hmm. So have you watched anything this week?
Well, of course, but first I want to hear your thoughts about Penguin Drum. Because, dude, I love Penguin Drum.
So yes, my wife and I have been watching the Penguin Drum.
Good. It's a good show.
I don't remember if I mentioned before that my only experience with it was at a friend's house in Indianapolis.
Yeah. You had just seen like one episode.
Well, we apparently had seen two.
Okay.
The first episode ends with guy makes out with his naked sister. The second episode ends with a crazy girl stalking a guy and sleeping under his house.
She does do that.
Given the environment I was in and given that time period in my life, I thought this is just too.
It is.
It is too weird.
Very strange. But it's really good.
Weird. And you got the transformation sequence, which is just crazy.
It's good. They lock all over Japan.
It's rock and roll night, rock and roll fight.
Yep.
She's just a rock and roll man.
Yeah, rock over Japan, man.
Yeah. It's really weird. But so I dropped it, gave it a 4, moved on with my life. But given that you've talked about it a lot.
It real good.
So I
it's not for everybody. But it's real weird, but it's real good.
I decided to watch it with my wife,
Sure.
And we are through episode 7. There have been lots of penguins that eat things.
That is true.
The crazy girl that sleeps under the guy's house has gotten infinitely crazier.
She is a yandere, that is for sure. She is she's not normal.
She hasn't really become a yandere as of yet.
Yeah.
So maybe she will, but right now she's just a crazy stalker chick.
That she is.
She's like the girl from Zetsubo Sensei who just follows that guy around going G all the time.
Yeah, it's basically what she does.
No spoilers, but the girl just found out that the person that she wants to be with can no longer be with her.
Okay, sure. I think I know where you're at then.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big twist halfway through. You know, sort of like how Kill la Kill has like that, like everything changes halfway through sort of thing. This does that, not to the same sort of extent, but yeah, this does the same sort of thing. Like everything will change here in a while. Contexts will be shifts, paradigms just shattered.
I think my favorite character so far is the possessed Himari.
Oh, yeah, the actual penguin princess.
Or the hat. It's the hat.
Yeah, penguin princess. No, she's great.
Yeah, I think I like her because she has the most stable personality, which is saying something.
Yeah.
So,
have you noticed how the endings change all the time?
I haven't actually been watching the endings.
Oh, you'll want to, because those are kind of important, because they sort of like how Bage Monogatari has a different opening for every little segment. This has a different ending. The background stays the same, but the song changes, and they tend to be poignant.
Hmm.
They're by a group called Triple H.
So yeah, I haven't really been able to form an opinion yet. I just know
That's
that
fine.
the penguins like to eat everything in sight.
The lovely item penguins are definitely a thing.
Yeah, they're definitely external representations of each character's personality.
Yep. Nope.
But how they fit in with the story and everything, I have no idea.
Show's real good. It's real weird, but it's good.
I do like weird.
It is very
That's
strange.
why I decided to try it again.
Yep. It is weird.
I did watch. I've pretty much caught up insofar as watching series
Okay.
this week, but not watching every episode of all the new series.
Okay. Are you watching Hot Noir Boys?
I watched an episode of Hot Noir Boys.
I highly
just
recommend
today,
it.
actually.
It's real good. I like that show a lot. It's real tense. The music is good. The atmosphere is well done. I like the character designs.
It's very Ghost in the Shell-ish.
Yeah, it is. It is
saying something since it's production IG.
Yeah, it feels very much in that sort of standalone complex style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very political intrigue. It's good.
Yeah, the first episode ended on a cliffhanger, and I haven't seen that resolved yet.
Okay,
so
it's good. It's the next one, episode 3 is standalone. But yeah, it's good.
And then I watched an episode of Flying Witch.
Yes, I assume you probably hated it.
I wouldn't say I hated it.
It's an Arya show.
It's not my type of show.
In episode 2, you can thrill as a stranger knocks at the door, and you can have chills shiver down your spine as you watch them pick and eat local herbs. It's real heavy. I like those sorts of shows.
See, I'm fine with those kinds of shows, but they usually have to be like purely comedy.
Okay.
And just lighthearted stuff.
I like it when they're sort of lighthearted. Like Non Biori, like I ate that show up. I love Non Biori. But it is
I thought that was more like a straight comedy show.
It's
though.
a little bit of both. It's slice of life. It's got a little bit more of a gaggy bent to it, where Flying Witch doesn't have much of a. It's a little jokey, but not gaggy.
Did you see the video I made about Flying Witch?
No, I did not. I did not see this. You will have to send it to me, and I will give you live reactions. I do love Flying Witch.
Okay, here you go.
I really like it so far.
It's 30 seconds.
Okay.
This was my reaction after having watched one episode of Flying Witch. For those of you listening at home, I'll put a link to this video and any others we talk about down in the show notes. So go watch those first.
やっぱりこっちはいいですね。落ち着くと言いますか、時間がゆっくりと言いますか。
This is good. This is good. I like this. This is a good joke. This is a good gag.
So the context is, like the week before, I had been watching the Masters.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and I kept seeing these the cuts where they cut to a piece of landscape and give the scores and everything.
Yeah.
And whenever the whole time I'm watching this episode, I'm like, it's the Masters. Why are they playing golf music?
Yeah, no. I like the music to the show a lot because it's that sort of relaxing, like wind instrument sort of thing. But
it's fine.
No, you're right.
It's just golf music.
It is like watching the Golf Channel. You're that is a fair thing to do.
Okay, so the best part about this is I found this flyover of the golf course in Augusta.
Yeah.
And I showed it to my friend, and I didn't give him context. I just said, here's what I thought. And he played it, and he gets to this part, and he's like, okay, yeah, all right. I really don't like this CG.
That's what I Yep. I'm so for that reaction. That is priceless. That is
it was
utterly
best.
Priceless.
I'm like, good, because it's not CG.
Yeah, that's Augusta.
Oh my. Yeah, it's good stuff.
That's good. It's good joke. Good joke, you guys. We did it. We got there.
Did you also see the one I posted for the last aired episode of this podcast?
Send it to me. Again. Yes, thank you.
あの解決はオレキが出したのよね。
そうだな。
全部？
多分。
じゃああんたは幅先輩の言ったことをどう考えたの？
幅の？
あの映画の中にはどこにもザイルが出てこなかったわよ。
Yeah, it's still good. Still good. What about the rope, dummy?
Oh goodness.
Oh, we delight ourselves. This video has 2 views, and it's probably me twice.
Actually, it is me twice.
I'm fine with that. Yeah, a joke. The only person you have to impress with a joke is yourself.
That's true.
Quantity over quality, and the only person you ever have to delight is yourself. So that is fine. What is that shirt from Penny Arcade? Stream like no one's watching.
Yeah.
That's what we do here every week.
Have you seen Kumamiko?
Because it's not on a service I have it on.
You really need to find Kumamiko.
I only
because
have
in
so
episode
many hours
3,
in a week. Look, I played lots of Overwatch during the open beta this weekend.
You know what? No, you know what? I'm gonna send you something. It's a little bit of a spoiler.
Okay.
But you need to see it.
Okay.
If this does not convince you, I don't know what will to watch this show. So, you know how Mikos sometimes dance and they go into like a trance?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Yeah. Here you go.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm down with the splash image here. Is this an edit or is this like straight up from that?
No, this is out of the show.
Okay, then I am so delighted. I told you I'm seeing Hatsune Miku this weekend, right?
Yes, you have. And you need to watch this DJing bear.
Okay, I mean, this is definitely making all my life way more worth living. This guy's the best. I'm surprised at the animation quality for this stupid show.
He is the best bear. You don't understand. Here comes the drop.
This is better animation quality than half the shows that are on this season.
I would argue that this is the best show of the season.
I mean, you may not be wrong.
Because of all the shows that I'm watching, this is the only one where I'm like, is that out yet? Is that out yet? I need to watch more.
See, I'm like that with Hot Noir Boys. I need to know when a new Hot Noir Boys comes out. They're hot, and they're Noir Boys. For those of you who have no idea what I'm actually talking about, it is called Joker Game.
It's about spies.
It is
They're
about
in Japan.
spies in
They're noir and they're boys.
early World War II Japan, but it's Hot Noir Boys. Like, come on.
Yeah.
There were hot country boys, there were hot swimming boys, there were hot basketball boys, hot volleyball boys, and now we have hot noir boys. Oh, I watched the new episode of Jojo, but can't talk about that yet.
Lots of spoilers.
Diamond does remain unbreakable. Oh, and I did find out that they're translating the name of his stand incorrectly, probably due to licensing things. The name of...
It's always licensing.
Yeah, Josuke's stand is called Crazy Diamond, verbally, but that's a reference to like a Led Zeppelin or a Pink Floyd song, so they change it.
What are they translating it to?
I don't remember.
Because those are usually pretty funny.
I mean, it's something just kind of normal. I don't know, but it is Crazy Diamond is what he says, but we can't call it that, I guess.
So, speaking of the old JoJos.
Yes, Jojo. Bizarre Adventure Part 2, Battle Tenacity, Episode 2, The Game Master, or Master of the Game, or however you want to translate it.
Tendency?
Vandal Tendency. Did I say Tenacity again?
Sure did.
Dang it. I even wrote in my notes Tendency real big. Oh well. It's a better name
big,
anyway.
Bold, italics.
I stand by it.
I'm with you on that.
Battle
one.
Tenacity sounds better. I mean, he does have a tendency to battle, so, I mean, you're not wrong, but okay.
He's really good at it. So we opened this week in JoJo episode 11, etc., etc., etc.
Yeah.
With JoJo continuing to Tommy gun straights right into this cafe.
I was like, oh yeah, because I just watched Diamond is Unbreakable episode 2. I was like, I forgot where we all left off on the show, so I'll just go to this, and it just opens up with Joseph Joestar going ham with a Tommy gun. I was like, oh yeah, that's where we were. Okay.
Yeah.
And I do like it. Like, as soon as he's like done Tommy gunning straights into this cafe, he's like, what will it be, straights? Huh? How do you want to go? Am I going to destroy your entire brain? Am I going to Hammond you to death? Sunlight? How do you want to die? You got plenty of different ways.
All the bystanders, including Smokey, clearly have no idea what's going on.
Smokey is the voice of reason. He's like, dude, you just murdered that man. And JoJo's like, man, did you say? I think you mean vampire. I hope what I shot was only a man.
Because if so, the worst that can happen to me is I end up in jail. And then he walks over to some women who are like shrieking in terror at being caught in this crossfire. And he's like, "Stop crying, women. I can't hear myself think. You best get out of here before I French kiss you."
Yeah, we're not dealing with the kind-hearted Jonathan Joestar anymore.
Yeah, the list of civil charges right now is racking up.
Yeah, well, this is 1938. It's cool.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Men were men back then.
Well, yeah. I think
Something.
we all seen Mad Men. I think we
Yeah,
know
don't
where
tweet
this
us about
goes.
that.
I think we know where this goes.
But everything's cool, though, because Straits stands up and everyone flees who doesn't need to be there.
He's a freaking vampire.
And then we get a new op.
A new op! Yay! How did you like this op? It's pretty tight.
To be honest, I think it's like when I was introduced to the first op.
Yeah.
It's okay. I personally prefer the old one. But maybe that's just because it's grown on me.
I mean,
this one does have a lot of colors.
It does.
It's very 70s. It's
very
got your
bright and
70s
poppy.
big band disco. There's also a naked lady for some reason.
yeah, but there's no Sono Chino Sadame.
Exactly. There's no that.
Yeah.
There's no
that's fair.
punch at the end of it.
It's true.
And I was kind of hoping for a punch.
Well, it's okay. Crazy Something Bizarre Town is really good. That's the Diamond is Unbreakable theme.
I mean, it's an okay theme, and it probably fits with the new JoJo's personality.
Yeah, no, it will. It'll grow on you too. So the first one is really good. Well, we cut back, and Straits is wringing the bullets right out of himself. He just sort of stands up and twists himself, and all the bullets just pop on out.
Well, that's how he gets most of them out. One of them he gets out of his leg by ripping his skin open.
I wasn't gonna bring up that. It's gross.
It was like,
no.
I was not ready for that.
Yeah, please no. Yeah. Ugh.
So Dio, well, sorry.
I can understand your mistake.
Straits is like, Dio's failure was overindulgence in playing with his new powers and testing their limits. But I'm different. I'm going to find the extent of my powers after I've killed you.
Yeah, first I'm going to murder you.
In the same way that Dio killed Jonathan, which raises some questions. Like, how does he know how Dio killed Jonathan? Because the only people that were there were
hive mind through the mask.
I guess.
Being told afterward. Well, no. Being told afterwards by Speedwagon, who was told afterwards by Arena.
I guess that could happen. Because Speedwagon didn't trust him at one point.
Well, Jojo's like, well, that's nice. If you're going to murder me now and ask questions later, that's cool. I'm just going to shoot you. But he's all out of bullets.
I do like here, in this short little scene, is where we get all the new like animation styles, like all just smooshed into a very short space.
Yeah.
So we get some like halftone comic book style shots of the gun. And then we immediately go to like speed lines on everything, sort of like crosshatch style for Straits. It's really nice. I like that.
I mean, the show's
very comic
always well animated, like super great. Well, not necessarily animated, well stylized is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
They deal with their budget the best they can. But Straits does decide he's going to eye laser Jojo to death because it worked so well for Dio last time, and we get a name for the eye lasers.
It's the worst name in the world.
Space Ripper Stingy Eyes? What could be wrong about Space Ripper Stingy Eyes? Like,
well, okay,
come on.
to be fair,
It's got to be a reference to something. It's got to be.
He does say that he's going to take time after he kills Jojo to develop his attacks.
And by that we mean name them.
Assume he's going to redo some of his attacks.
Space Ripper Stingy Eyes. This has got to be a reference. We need to look this up right now.
I'm going to look at
it. It's probably like a David Bowie song.
Stingy
Eyes. Space Ripper Stingy Eyes. Oh, what a name. Where'd he come up with this? I mean, he's been in Tibet for a while, so.
Oh, here we go.
Okay.
Well, we have Dio abilities.
Okay. Space Ripper Stingy Eyes.
Space Ripper Stingy Eyes.
Yeah.
No, there's no.
How about under Straits?
Let me see.
Under Straits list? Does he have the listed abilities Space Ripper Stingy Eyes? I hope that's in the new Pokemon game. I want to use that.
I would like to say to some of our listeners who have pointed out that when I referred to Straits as Strizo, that's how it's translated.
Yeah.
And that's clearly not how it's said
it is Straits.
in the vocals.
Yeah.
But on the wiki, He is named Strizo, and that's the title of the article, and that's how he's referred to throughout. So,
interesting.
Yeah. Eyes. I'm looking up eyes.
Space Ripper Stingy Eyes. I just want that to be a new Pokemon attack, so I can have Pikachu use Space Ripper Stingy Eyes. Or preferably my Blastoise.
No, it's not a reference
Dad.
to anything. That's just the name of the attack.
Well, that's fair. I'm glad that he was real creative when coming up with that name. Solid name. A+.
The best part
give it a
is
Master Ball.
it's
great.
also written in kanjis underneath. It's a 5 kanji phrase.
Okay.
And it's literally space splitting eye spiked surprise.
I like the surprise on there. Like, woo.
It's almost a Sailor Moon attack.
Like I have like some like you have like the party poppers that throw confetti. Like, yay! Woo! We did it! Eye lasers. To be fair, the first time I saw the eye lasers, it was very surprising. So
it's like, oh,
not wrong.
That's a thing now. And it's actually surprising here now, too, because when Dio did it, it was just eye lasers. Straight up, like Superman eye lasers. But here, they're like drill bits coming out of his eyes.
They're like laser bolts from Star Wars. They're
Yeah.
not like a laser pointer. They're like laser bolts.
With like a drill tip at the end.
Yeah. Either way, Straits' Space Ripper Stingy Eyes lasers Jojo both in the brain and in the neck.
We've seen this show before.
We have seen this show before.
And Straits turns around and says that now that his attack has worked, he's going to go kill Erina. And it will be
easier than drowning an infant, says both Straits and Jojo at the same time.
What?
And then I know what the Straits is going to say. How can he live with a hole in his head?
How can he live with a hole in his head? And actually, no, really, how can he live with a hole in his head?
It's very simple. Very simple. Straits is an idiot.
Well, if you live in the city, then you learn to toughen up.
That is true.
Deal with it.
If you live in the city, you can survive eye lasers. Works for Lex Luthor.
Yeah, but really, Jojo's like, take a look at this clock above my head.
Yeah, it's backwards.
It's backwards.
You shot a mirror, you dummy.
Yeah, it was a
Jojo, this Joseph Joestar continues to be Oreki. At least the mystery of how did he not die with a hole through his entire brain is more interesting than why did they get ice cream on their ear.
And then he Tommy guns him in the face.
In the face.
By that, I mean he like
bullets.
takes the Tommy gun and whacks him in the face.
Now, okay. He also sends Hammond energy through the gun, in theory, into Strizo's entire brain, right?
Yeah.
So Hammond can go through guns, but it can't go through metal chains.
Well, it can go through metal chains. It can't go through metal chains that are also in
the ceiling,
stone walls.
In a ceiling. Well, I know metal conducts Hammond very well, but does the wood and metal conduct Hammond? I mean, I guess it does.
I'm also kind of confused because he, like the first episode, which was just one episode ago, he's like shooting bottle caps off of pop bottles using Hammond.
Yeah.
And he tells Smokey, I don't know how I do this. It's a mystery to me. And now he can just do it. He hasn't had Speedwagon around to tell him all about this. He's figured it out.
He got a letter. He got a letter.
Was it from Oreki's sister?
It was. It's fine. She learned Hammond energy too. We got that.
Sure,
That's
she was in
canon.
Tibet
She
for
was
a
in
while.
India and Tibet learning about this stuff. Probably even from Straits. We don't know.
Oh, man.
Well, Straits does not die. He's not down for the counts yet because Jojo goes to look at him and be like, hey, I want to see your face melt because I know Hammond does that to vampires. And Straits is like, yep, not dead, and tries to eye laser Jojo again. But Jojo, being our protagonist, definitely dodges the attack.
Yeah.
So, you may be asking yourself a very burning question. How in the world could Straits live through a direct Hammond attack? Well, he'll tell us. He has a scarf, and it's made out of bug stomachs. So that's how he survived Hammond. It's very simple.
30,000 bug stomachs.
Oh, we'll not worry about how that works. All we need to know is that it's like a lightning rod, but for Hammond. And you would think that would mean that would conduct Hammond really well into Straight's entire brain, but it doesn't. Instead, it dissipates it.
It does. It's like a lightning rod.
Straits is a master of all things Hammond, because, of course, he was the master of all things Hammond before he became a horrible blood-sucking Kuketsuki. And so he knows all of Hammond's tricks, all of its strengths, and all of its weaknesses, including the fact that it's weak to scarves made out of bug stomachs. All checks out.
It's on the Hammond wiki, which he maintains.
He keeps and maintains.
But then he pulls a hubris and he's like, I know everything. I'm not Dio.
Well,
Like, well, there you went and said that you're better than Dio.
don't do that.
Can't do that.
Dio comes back as a bad guy like 12 more times, bucko.
And
Well, Jojo's like, well, I mean, I guess that's nice, but the good thing is I, being Jojo, and having lived on the streets, don't rely only on Hammond, because check out your sweet bug stomach scarf. I put a grenade on it.
And then there's a grenade on it.
And Straits is like, well, you're dumb, Jojo. You shouldn't have pointed that out, and knocks the grenade away. And then Jojo's like, no, it is you who is the dumb for not growing out in the streets, where I guess in the streets of the city, they have Tommy gun and grenade fights just all the time.
What he does here is a common
It's a classic
trick in
maneuver.
the New York gang scene.
Yep, the classic.
And that is to tie many
9
pins of
I
grenades.
Counted.
9 grenade pins to 1 grenade. So if he knocks the 1 grenade away,
it then triggers the 9 more
9
on the
others
back of his
on
bug
his-
stomach scarf.
which are attached to his bug scarf via something.
Shut up. Look, okay. It's Hammond energy.
Probably bug
Look,
spit.
No. Look, this makes sense. The scarf conducts Hammond energy, right?
Right.
Right. Do we not remember how we could get leaves to stick together using what? Hammond energy, right? So
Wait,
he's
no,
using
no,
that
no,
same
no, no,
magnetic
no.
technique to stick the grenades to the scarf.
Yeah,
You check
but
that,
it
it's
doesn't
fine.
work on metal.
What?
Grenades are made of metal. You
So?
can't have metal stuck to leaves or bug stomachs.
It's magnetism, remember?
That doesn't work.
Well, yeah, it does.
I don't
The
think that
steel
works.
grenades, magnetism, Hammond magnetism, it's fine.
He didn't turn into a flying kite.
He didn't have to in this case. He just stuck the grenades to the scarf using Hammond magnetism. Checks out.
Regardless, he explodes.
He does Bakuhatsu pretty hard.
And he is destroyed, including his entire brain.
We
or does
don't
it?
see that, actually. We see an eyeball, some legs, lots of skin flaps, some intestines, but we don't know the status of his brain in its entirety.
Yeah. Jojo appears back through the smoke. What the hell is he? This guy.
Yeah, and
He's like, Smokey, don't look.
Well, Smokey
But
looks.
it's too late, and our boy is scarred for life.
Yeah.
And he makes an oath to God and man to please save his life, and he will give up crime. Because all of the bits of Straits are now crawling together in the most hideous and grotesque fashion.
Well, yeah, I mean, he is a vampire. If by hideous and grotesque you mean turning into a sexy man, then yes.
Oh, he is sexy. You don't know.
Straits is a sexy dude. He poses and stuff. Man, he's hot. Just wait till we get to our Pillarmen later. Now, there are some hotties.
He is recombining right now, and he's, in my estimation, he's pretty vulnerable because he doesn't have the scarf anymore.
Hey, it is okay. It's okay.
His legs aren't fully formed.
That's very true. Because
he could be Hammond right now.
Jojo says that he has one last card up his sleeve. This is his very last.
I wrote down, I hope it's not running away.
Spoilers. It is running away. Jojo is like, look at Straight's legs. See how they're blown to bits and haven't healed completely yet? That's the ticket. See, what I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to use my own legs and I'm going to book it. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it like Pizza Hut and book it.
The way he runs away in this scene is the most absurd
It's
thing.
It's the best. I love Joseph
Because he
Joestar.
makes this insane, weird clown face as he's bolting.
Oh, he bolts.
But he says that he hopes that Straits follows him, like, away from the crowd. But Straits, though immortal, states while he's clinging to the side of a building, being Spider-Man,
He does.
that he needs a lot of energy to regenerate.
Yeah,
because
that
that
he
was
does.
quite a Bakuhatsu, and he needs some time.
It may have been a bug gas Bakuhatsu is how big it was.
Meanwhile, below, a young scamp reporter is reporting on the burnt cafe for a story,
It's like,
hoping
dude,
to make it into
vampires.
the big leagues.
Now that's a story. I'm going to win the Pulitzer for sure.
And then we get this really weird insert with Straits is like crawling down the side of the building, and the narrator comes on and tells us that his fingertips are exerting a pressure of, and I quote, 235 kilograms per square centimeter.
We really need to know this. This is very important for the plot going forward.
I mean, it's cool and all,
It's
but
very important.
I had already accepted that he's crawling on a building. That's a thing he does now.
Science, it's fine.
Whatever.
This is science.
And they're like, we need to tell you how hard he grasps it. And then we need to tell you currently his leaping ability,
yeah, it's very important.
which is 4 meters and 22
So you know
centimeters.
how cool and horrible he is. You need to know.
He's not that cool.
You need to know
turns out by the end of the episode.
exactly how in danger our JoJo is.
He lands behind the intrepid reporter, this nice lady full of hopes and dreams and life.
And Kyuketsuki's her away.
Yeah. The camera fades to black, and we assume that she's totally dead because she's a lady and she's not an op.
Yeah, and she just met a vampire, and we know how this goes. She eats her own baby. Well, it turns out our heroes, Jojo and Smokey, have run all the way to the Brooklyn Bridge. They turn around, and what is this? Straits now has the Wayfish reporter held hostage because of course he does.
With his fingers in his mouth for some
His
reason?
fingers in her mouth. Very important.
Yes.
Because it's gross and Straits is now a super bad guy, and that's things bad guys do. Which is mistreat the ladies.
That's it.
Of course, then again, so does Joseph, but he doesn't mistreat ladies in gross ways.
He doesn't shove his fingers in women's mouths.
Yeah, that's gross. It's gross.
At least not so far.
Well, Straits lets fly a free-for-all of facts.
He really likes stating the obvious, like in the last episode where he kills some men and then says, "I just killed these men."
Well, that was a great moment, to be fair.
He's holding this lady hostage, and he declares, "She's my hostage."
Yep, that is true.
If you run, she dies. If you come up here, I'll let her go. And then Joseph has the best response, which is, "You idiot, I don't even know who she is."
I don't know who that is. What do I care? Gone are the days of Jonathan Joestar. His legacy lies in ruins before his grandson. It's like, I'm going to do what the gentleman would do. And Joseph's like, I don't know, or whatever. Do what you want.
That's fine.
Straits lets him in on his plan, which I think is a tactical error, personally.
But it's always a tactical error.
Straits is like, look, this is just a test for you, Jojo. Here's the deal. If you run away, I know what kind of man you are. If you run, then whatever, I don't care. I won't even chase you because it's unlikely you'll ever seek revenge because you're too much of a coward, so who cares? But if you come here to try and rescue poor Miss Reporter-san, then I know you're the heroic type, so I'm going to have to murderate you.
Also, you have 5 seconds to decide.
Go!
Cue break.
Commercial break. Memento Mori by our JoJo.
Oh no, what's going to happen?
What's going to happen? Well, we cut back, and JoJo's like, okay, Straits, so for a hideous-looking hag like that, I wouldn't even try to save her if I was sweet on her. Jojo, what happened? What happened to you?
And Straits is so, like, taken aback.
Yeah.
He's like,
It's
well,
like, what?
In that case, I'm going to tear her jaw out and then, like, tear it out all the way down to her chest. It'll be gross. And Joseph's
blah,
like,
blah, blah.
well, yeah, but would a Tibetan monk really do that?
There's a lot of bluffing and counter bluffing going on.
And Straits is like, yeah, I would. And he pulls out one of the girl's teeth and tosses it at him.
Ow. It's gross. No.
Well, it is.
I'm one of those people who has, like, dreams of, like, their teeth falling out. No, thank you. No, please stop. Ew.
And I mean, that's pretty terrible, but it doesn't really answer the question. Because, yeah, a Tibetan monk who's turned himself into a vampire might tear out a woman's tooth and throw it at him. But the whole jaw, that's a whole nother level.
It's a stretch, right? Like, I mean, a tooth is not a jaw, okay?
Yeah.
Like, that's different.
And he declares, though, when he does this, he's like, Straits shows no mercy.
You are inhuman to the core.
But this is over the line for Jojo.
A tooth,
like, one
too
tooth
much.
is too many.
Yep. One too many teeth.
He removes his jacket by pulling it off, shredding it.
He rips it off. He's got a pose for the sweet throwdown they're about to have.
Yeah, Straits throws the girl away and fires lasers at Jojo.
Aha! Jojo is ready this time. He brought shot glasses. He fills one of them with Hammond energy so the beam hits the shot glass, reflects back, and hits Strazo right in the face.
Yeah. So question, did he bring these shot glasses for this particular instance, or did he just have them on him?
Both, yes.
Because he might need them later. Maybe he has a flask too. You don't know.
Yeah.
Could be both. Then he tells Straits that he can apologize to Speedwagon in hell.
Yep. Which is awfully mean.
It's like, is Speedwagon in hell then?
Yeah, like that's awfully presumptuous.
So Straits starts falling from the bridge, having been now Hammond in the face.
Yeah.
Because
Straits charges Jojo, and this goes about as well as you would expect, as Jojo Hammonds, not his entire brain, but, a third of his brain.
Most of his brain. enough of his brain.
And Straits does get punched right off the bridge. But
And he starts to fall, but Jojo
Ah,
catches him.
why would he do that? Well, it turns out Jojo wants info.
But Straits lays it on him. He's like, you know what? You're like Jonathan, but on the outside, you're opposites. But you're both insatiably curious, and your nature has trapped you in a fate you can't escape.
So
And soon you will learn of the Pillar Man.
Yep. Well,
Ooh.
because what Jojo really wants to know is why in the world did he toss Speedwagon in a river? That seems dumb. Because that would alert them to his presence, and that seems like it was a tactical error. Also, it's obvious at this point. One of two things. One, Straits has never met Chitanda Eru. Two, Chitanda Eru is related by blood to the Joestar family. One of these two things must be the case.
I think it's number 2. And
I think so too.
I think that her curious nature has trapped her in a fate that she cannot escape.
Which is dating Oreki. What with the kisses?
It's Oreki. It's Oreki in a mixed bath.
Ooh, yes. What with the kisses? Make with the kisses.
So many kisses. So, Straits.
Yeah.
Lets Jojo know why he threw Speedwagon's body in the river.
It's because after he murderated those guys, all the blood from their bodies was getting sucked up by that weird, creepy pillar. And, well, look, okay, bonkers stuff like that is always bad news in JoJo-verse. So Straits was like, we'll have none of that, please and thank you, and threw the bodies in the river so the pillar couldn't suck up any more of those sweet, sweet blood juices.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know what that thing is, but it has all the masks, so it's probably
bad news.
Better than the masks.
Bad news,
So
bears.
I want to be Super Vampire Man. So we need to stop that from happening.
Little does he know Nazis. Well, we'll not worry about that yet, but...
And then we notice that he, Straits, actually breathes Hammond while as a vampire.
So after a little more taunting, Straits Hammonds himself to death, saying he would rather be young in hell than wither away.
Okay, dude.
As
whatever.
Straits explodes.
I mean, if you have priorities.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. We then cut to a montage that basically says it's 1938 and Nazis are a thing.
Hooray!
Hooray for
That's
Nazis.
what they did.
No, boo, Nazis, boo.
Oh, yeah, right. Well, they used bad stuff. They did terrible things.
Yep.
They had all the technology, but they also did anything they could to win the war, including sorcery, black magic, and astrology.
If Nazis hadn't been into the occult, what would we do? Our stories would be so
Indiana Jones
boring.
movies for one.
Yeah, I know, right? All these fantasy stories would be so boring.
Yeah. And then we find out that they had a spy network in Mexico was onto Straits' activities. So we cut to Mexico and Nazi MacGyver.
Oh, see, I didn't do that. They're led by Duke Nukem, okay? Or Guile. It's either Guile or Duke Nukem.
I'd probably go with Guile over Duke Nukem, but my first thought was, oh, look, it's a Nazi MacGyver.
Okay, that's fair.
Because he's got a mullet, although it's a flat top mullet.
See, I'm going with Duke Nukem. And you can tell he's bad news because, again, he's mistreating the ladies. As you do.
Sure is.
That's how you know he's bad.
He's getting shaved by a lady.
Also, maybe the fact he's a Nazi would tell you he's bad, but...
Well, let's not be presumptuous. He might be a nice Nazi.
He might be. How many nice Nazis have you met? The ones that were just following orders?
So he's getting a shave by this hot lady, of which there are many in the room.
Yeah, well,
and she accidentally cuts him with the straight razor on his cheek.
Yeah.
And she backs away in fear. But he's nice to her. He says,
nice.
All you have to do is lick it clean. Go on.
I mean, to be fair, he is acting a lot like Duke Nukem here in this scene.
I don't think he was that crazy, the Duke Nukem. I mean, he wasn't really keen on women's rights and all, but
no.
I don't think he would have
stooped
been like,
that
hey, you see your tongue? Let me put this straight razor up to that and see how much you like it.
Yeah.
That's a little... Ugh.
Yeah. Bad news bears. This guy's bad news. Well, somebody walks in on this happenstance and is like, the guy we have captured is awake. And the guy we've captured? It's Speedwagon. Odd job.
He's alive.
Done it again.
Hooray.
Yay. Hey, Speedwagon.
This is the best.
He's in a straitjacket. Cut to New York. Jojo is now flirting with the now rescued reporter, and it is not going well.
He's posturing.
Turns out he did call her a hag once or twice. Technically, if we want to get real technical, he called her a pig. But
he called her Busu. You never call a woman a Busu, guys.
Yeah, don't do that.
It's the worst.
Bad. Not a way to pick up the chicks.
But he tries to deflect. He's like, did I call her that?
I don't know.
But you're so pretty. How odd. Why would I say
Why
that?
would I ever say such a thing? She just
so he
beats
gets
him
kicked
up.
in the shin.
Yeah, it's not a good time. Well, he decides that's enough of that and decides he should just go to Mexico. He's like, huh, well, that Pillar Man's
It's actually
probably
a really
scary.
good idea.
I should go to Mexico. Bye, guy. Cut to Duke Nukem.
Who's spraying some flies with some spray and gets himself in the face.
Yeah, he doesn't
So he's
like it.
clearly like a clown, but he's evil. He's an evil clown in a Nazi outfit.
Or Guile as played by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
Aha.
It could be. He does look like that.
Well, he starts questioning Speedwagon. They want to know everything. Also, it just so happens that our Nazis have pulled the pillar out of that creepy temple and have put it in their lab. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
Speedwagon instantly starts speedwagoning at them.
Why would you do this? Why would you not just let me die?
God, why
This is
would
the
you let me
worst.
live? You should have let me die. Why did you let me live? It's like, yeah, no, that's Speedwagon, all right.
Yeah, and the guy's like, wrong. God didn't let you live. I did.
I did.
Now the Wehrmacht will make you talk.
Yep. Duke Nukem is like, well, torture won't work because obviously you're Speedwagon and you're awesome. But you know what Nazis are? Nazis are awesome. So truth serum.
Yeah, he like starts screaming about how awesome Germany is.
Yeah, well,
Like
you'll get that.
he's really into
He's
Germany,
into it.
guys.
He's a true believer. He wants to know everything about everything. He wants to know about Jojo, about Hammond, about Dio, about how vampires work. But what he wants to know is how to wake up the Pillar Man.
Which is a good idea.
How could this go wrong? What could go wrong? Nothing could go wrong.
So he's like, we're gonna feed the Pillar Man some blood.
Some blood.
And he goes out to a cage full of Mexican villagers that he's captured.
Yeah, Nazis are bad news.
And he tells them, you know what? I'm going to be nice to you all. We're performing an experiment, and we'd like you guys to choose amongst yourselves which one of you will die, and the rest will be allowed to live.
I've seen this movie. This is The Dark Knight Rises, right? With Batman and the Joker, right? With the
Sure
prison
enough.
boats. Yeah, this is that experiment. I know this one.
And a young boy volunteers. He says, I'll sacrifice myself if it means that everybody else can go free.
Well, Duke Nukem likes this idea. It's like, oh, see, we just want the strong to survive because we're Nazis and we're all about the survival of the fittest. So you, noble lad who would sacrifice himself for the greater good, you get to live. We're going to kill everybody else.
What?
Nazis are bad people. It's just the way it goes. Nazis are bad. They're bad.
Meanwhile, Jojo is on his way on a motorcycle being
Jojo
followed
is being Kamen Rider, and he's being followed by a knife
man
licking guy.
who's licking a knife.
Yeah, we know that
I
type.
guess.
We know it.
Yeah. And the experiment begins.
Duke Nukem starts fleeting blood to the pillar and
Roundabout.
Hooray!
Hooray. Terrible Pillar Man.
Next week, Nazis and Pillar Men.
In episode entitled Pillar Man. I wonder what happens.
Yeah, I wonder what happens. Could they maybe wake up the Pillar Man? I don't know. Tune in next week to find out.
So what was your best of this episode?
Best of this episode? Ooh, golly. Space Ripper Stingy Eyes.
That has got to be the best, worst name I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
My best was Speedwagon is alive.
That's good. See, I thought he lived. I was confused because I was like, I'm pretty sure Speedwagon stayed alive a lot longer than that. I was like, oh, okay. He was rescued by Nazis. I forgot about that.
Hooray, he's alive.
Boo,
I thought he was
Nazis.
dead. What was your worst?
Worst? Yeah, probably the whole scene with Duke Nukem and the Razor Lady. It's just
Well,
gross.
you have to know.
You have to know he's a bad guy. No, I know. That's how we know he's a bad
we had the whole
dude.
scene with Dio and the baby eating lady.
Yeah, that's true.
We have to have a scene like this too.
Yeah, but that one was different because that one was more malevolent. This is just like mistreating a lady because you're a bad dude.
I guess.
Yeah, I think there's a difference in kind there, but no, that's fair. What was your worst?
My worst, I had to dig deep on this because
Okay.
I like almost everything in the episode. I think it was the waste of the sticky beetle scarf
Yeah, that's true. That's
because it was hand woven from the stomachs of 30,000 of these beetles, and Jojo blows it up.
fair. I mean,
And it's like, okay, well, it was important to Straits' plan,
Yeah.
but the waste, the expense.
yeah, the expense of all those. Think of
What do we
the
do now?
Beatles. Think of the Beatles.
Seriously.
Maybe
That's a lot of
hold on.
Beatles.
I'm gonna throw this out there. Maybe they were spruce bark beetles because those guys are jerks.
Oh.
Nobody likes
Well, that's
Spruce
fine
Bark
then.
Beetles.
No.
Spruce Bark, there's the pits. The pits.
Who do you have for MVP?
MVP, Duke Nukem? No. He did save Speedwagon. Kamen Rider Jojo? Maybe. Straits? No.
No.
Speedwagon for just being alive and instantly speedwagoning? Yeah, Speedwagon. For as soon as he wakes up, instantly speedwagoning. And just being like, why would this happen? Oh, I should have been dead. This is awful. Everything's the worst. That Pillar Man's bad news. I have no idea what he's about, but he can't be good. The world's ending. Yeah, now Speedwagon for instantly speedwagoning all up over everything.
Yeah, that's who I have.
Yeah, okay. That's good.
Because he clearly survived the thing, and I thought he was dead. And now he's back, and he's the same guy he always was.
He just instantly starts speedwagoning. Also, it is worth noting that the Nazis have put him in a straitjacket. They haven't shackled him to the bed. They just put him in a straitjacket.
Oh, I wonder if they knew.
They didn't.
They didn't do it for the pun.
Well, yeah, maybe they did. Because they did. Straits does say that the narrator does tell us that they know about straits. So
that's true.
So that's reasonable.
So next week we get a man coming out of a pillar.
Maybe. Next week we might actually have me going to a Hatsune Miku concert, depending on how much work we want to put into next week's episode.
That's right. So, well, our
Watch
next
out
full
for
episode
that.
will be the Pillar Man emerging from a pillar.
Yep. And
Maybe.
the next episode of Hyouka. The Kanya-sai, the Bunka-sai.
The Kanya-sai?
I hope to goodness that next week is the start of our second ending.
The episode for the next Hyouka is called Practically Piled to the Ceiling.
Yes, then yeah, it's the Bunka-sai.
I think it's the Bunka-sai, but I'm very intrigued by episode 13, which is entitled A Corpse by Evening. And the thumbnail I have for that episode is one of the boys holding a gun. I am for
which
this.
one that is. I can assure you it is not going to be what you think it's going to be.
I can have dreams.
Yeah, you can hope that maybe they'll have a real mystery. They're never going to have a real mystery.
Oh well.
We do later have a mystery of why did they close the bridge early.
Oh, good.
I think that's the last episode.
Well, there we go.
Yeah. Next week, I will probably just talk about anime and going to a Hatsune Miku concert. Because it turns out she's coming to Seattle this Saturday.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. If you have comments or questions about Hyouka, Jojo, or just want our inane take on anything anime related, you can get in touch with us on Facebook or Twitter at Aniki Podcast. Also, make sure to check out the show notes for bonus content and links to stuff we talked about this time. So, thanks for listening, and see you next time on Aniki.